Good afternoon, everybody from Universal Studios. Today is our last update before opening night for Halloween Horror Nights 2023. It's a little bittersweet. I feel like we've been doing all of these updates. We've been taking you guys along in this journey. But at this point, opening night is technically tonight when you're watching this video. Last night was team member previews. I heard some very good things about the event this year. I really tried to avoid getting too much spoiled, so I don't want to talk about anything that I did read because I still kind of want to be a little shocked when I go inside. Either way, we're gonna see if there's any small updates today and kind of just debrief and get ready for opening night. Like I said, a little bittersweet, but either way, let's go ahead and get inside. I want to point out a few things really quick. We do have the medallion back. It looks like all of the hurricane prep is back in order now, so they kind of put everything back up. I'm going to show you one thing over in City Walk really quick. It'll take about 30 seconds before we actually head into the park, but I do want to show you again. We do have the medallion back up. Everything is good to go. Opening night should be smooth sailing. Right here in City Walk, you can see they have some new displays in the windows. Over here, we have the Stranger Things kind of collections. We have some of the pieces over there for merch. Then we have Vecna's Manor here with Vecna right there, and then up in the corner, Stranger Things 4 with some of these root vine things kind of going around the entire thing. That's actually pretty cool. So the first thing you see is Stranger Things when you guys are coming into the park here, or at least in the City Walk. We've already seen this display. This isn't anything new. This was here, I think, just a few days ago. They set this one up, and then they have the Harry Potter stuff over here. So I think that might have been it as far as just displays getting changed out here in City Walk. Again, they do have some of the merchandise here at the stands too. If you guys are just hanging out here, feel free to stop over here. I think most things now at this point are either at the stands or inside of the studio store, so you don't necessarily have to go into the park to get all of the merchandise. Again, just a few things inside of City Walk, and there is the medallion like I was pointing out just a second ago. Let's go ahead and get checked in. Really quick, I actually am going to do a spoiler, so go ahead and mute the video for 10 seconds if you don't want to hear about the spoiler, but I just want to talk about it really quick, so I'll give you 3, 2, 1, go ahead and mute. We did see Dr. Oddfellow is walking up here and doing an entry ceremony. The reason I want to talk about that is because we're doing Stay and Scream. We're not going to see the opening ceremony up here, so that isn't going to be in our opening video just because we're going to be all the way back there. We're not going to see this, so I just want to point that out. He is up here. We did see some photos of him. I won't spoil what he looks like. Hopefully we'll get that at some point in one of the videos, if not, opening night. But either way, there it is. Okay, moving forward. Now, I'm kind of assuming everything is finalized today, so that's why I'm kind of doing this last update to walk through all of the scare zones, because they did the team member previews, which makes me think that, again, this is the final structures that we're going to see here. So inside of this little front facade, it doesn't look like anything is new. Since yesterday and kind of the last updates, they did remove these walls that were here the other day. So I think, again, we're going to be seeing some sort of display here, and I'm going to assume those walls and curtains kind of open up for the night. Either way, all of this looks pretty much as it will be. I think I'm really excited to hear what the sounds and music will be this year, because obviously they switch it up every year, and I just want to see. I feel like last year was very almost surfer themed. I feel like it was kind of a bizarre choice, but it kind of worked in its own sort of way. Either way, into Dark Zodiac. And as you can see here, they have returned the signage here. It actually looks like there's some little marks on there. I don't know if that was from the wind or what. Everything looks to be kind of up and set up correctly in here. It smells a lot like wood in here right now too. Yeah, I'm not really getting too many smells here, and this all looks to be the same. I don't know if it worked. I was gonna see if we could smell any gas or anything from the fire. Again, I don't know too much about what happens, but from what I heard, I did hear that, again, this will be a little spoiler bit, but they are going to be wheeling things out in here. So this is not all that we are seeing. There is more to come inside of Dark Zodiac, so it may look a little open right now, but during the event itself, we should have a little bit more activity inside of here. Now, I also pointed out some of this in our other video. They kind of did a little bit more touch-up work to some of these pieces, I'll say, so it looks a little better than it did. It's not just the blank barrels. They put some Zodiac symbols on there, kind of colored up these tubes, put some more blood on them, and made it look a little bit more authentic. So really excited about that. From what I heard, I actually don't know if they were doing anything with the surrounding areas to these though, so this might actually just be the base, and that's just how it is. Again here, looking all the same at these barrels, and it seems as if the Tribute Store is still open. So today is technically the 31st. Tribute Store is fully functional at this point, so I think it's going to be open at least for a little while. This is probably my most anticipated area this year, is just to see what they do with this body on this big circular whatever this is. I want to see how it functions. I want to see, is it spewing blood out? Is it dripping blood? Is there even any interaction with it? I am really curious to know. I'm trying to look at like the plate down here, like the platform, to see if anything is colored or anything like that. Doesn't really look like it at this point. It does look like we have some standing water in here and some screws over there, so I don't know really what happened there. I think we have a lot of effects this year. I think we're going to be getting like water and fire and cold, and like I think we're getting a lot of actual physical feeling effects, which is going to be amazing. I think not just in the scare zones but also in the houses. Again, I think that's kind of just like an assumption, but from like just everybody's hype this year, I think we're going to be getting a lot of good activity. Again, I'm trying to look down here. I am not seeing anything, so I don't know if there's much happening like outward as much as it's just like dripping down maybe the body. I guess we'll see in less than 24 hours. It's crazy to think that we had like insane winds and rain all yesterday, and now this is the skies. It looks actually really nice out, but I'm gonna also tell you it's hot. It's very, very hot right now. Tomorrow being opening night, I'm expecting it to be very, very hot. A lot of bodies packed on top of each other, and we will be sweating. I still don't know if Mel's Drive-In will turn into Mel's Die-In as far as the sign goes. I have heard both. I don't know what they ended up doing last night. You can see that the lights on there are actually moving about, so I don't know if they're gonna turn that on or not. Obviously, we do have the Mel's Drive-In booth over here, but I don't know what they're doing with the actual building for the actual restaurant. So we'll have to keep an eye out. That'll be definitely something I think we need to see tomorrow. But as of now, I do know that is obviously the Mel's Die-In booth now across the street instead of the restaurant behind us. Also, right here, it looks like they put up the signage maybe for the houses. Yeah, so they definitely put something here. It looks like it says Halloween Horror Nights. I don't know if the signage for the house is in here. We can see a little bit. Oh, it looks like it's a show or something. I don't actually know. But either way, they do have the signage here, but I can't see inside of it right now. Also, I probably wouldn't expect too much new. Like I said, if you have been following my updates, today might just be a pretty much recap of everything. We are going through all the scare zones. I don't know how short or long this video will be, but it looks like there's a lot of wet kind of action there on the ground. So I don't know if that's from the rain or if they just had a crazy busy night last night. I think all the food was available, right? I thought food and drinks were available. So I don't know anything about that. I actually haven't heard anything happen in there, but it is definitely wet in here. So it looks like they were kind of hustling and bustling over here. Heading into Jungle of Doom, I have heard the characters were a little bizarre in here. Not totally fitting the scenery. Again, I don't know what they look like, and we'll formulate our own opinion. That's one of the biggest things, by the way, is don't let other people's opinions kind of influence yours. People will say, oh, this house stunk, or this house was amazing. Go in with a fresh slate. If it will influence you, just don't even hear it. Just don't listen to people and don't hear what they have to say, because at the end of the day, you just going in with a fresh mind, I think, is going to be the best way to experience the event. If you go in thinking this house is supposed to be amazing or supposed to kind of stink, and then all of a sudden it's not that, you're gonna be like, what? And so I'm telling you, don't listen to people, formulate your own opinions. It's definitely something I learned last year, because I feel like a lot of people were hyping up some houses and some people were kind of bashing on some of them, and it ended up kind of swapping a lot of places. And yeah, plus also time of the year for the event kind of makes a big difference. Either way, as we walk through Jungle of Doom, one thing I gotta point out, there's nothing up in the trees. So they didn't put anything up there yet, and I don't think we're gonna get anything up there. So I don't know what that's meant to be, or unless they put something up in the next few hours, basically, or whatever. I don't know. I think those are just maybe like support brackets or something. I won't spoil again too much about this scare zone from the things I have been hearing, but again, as far as the costumes go, I just heard they're bizarre. I don't know, we're gonna make our own opinion when the time does come. Either way, nothing really new in here. Definitely a bizarre smell inside of here though. Another one of these posters, pretty tightly wrapped up here. I don't really know what it is. It looks like it's kind of like Never Go Alone look to it that you see on the merchandise. So I don't know what it's actually showing, if there's wait times or if this is gonna be the map. Maybe the map is sitting like right in the middle here. I'm not too certain. I guess we'll see very, very soon. I also think that the team members that were kind of leaking things yesterday, I thought I heard like you could just get fired for that. So I don't think a lot of the things that were kind of shown and expressed yesterday are actually allowed. I guess I don't really know. I'm not a team member, so I don't know. But I'm sure you could like express your opinions, but I don't think you can actually physically show photos and videos, and people were doing that, and that's what I was trying to avoid. I was kind of reading what people were saying, but I was really trying to avoid any like actual visual spoilers. Right now I'm heading over to the Last of Us portal because I want to see what they do with that, just because I want to see if they dressed it up or anything, or if it's just kind of written as is. So that's kind of where we're heading right now. All right, well, this is interesting. So right now, it doesn't look like there's either. So it looks like you're gonna head down here, kind of go around the corner, and then maybe it separates down there. Maybe they have some more signage. I didn't know if they were gonna kind of dress this up and kind of put like the railings down the center. So I guess at this point, everyone kind of funnels in. I don't see that being super smart, just because I feel like people are gonna be coming in here, people are gonna be coming out, everyone's gonna run into each other, unless they put them in at nighttime, just to allow like maintenance and whoever that actually needs to go up and down this. Maybe they don't want the disruption there. But there are like the little portholes that you can put railings in. So that's my guess, is like at night, they're actually gonna kind of shift that over, just because, again, imagine everybody coming in and leaving at the same time. Wouldn't that just be like way too much? Either way, nothing there. So let's head over to MIB, take a quick break, and then we'll continue on. Well, I may have been wrong. I thought the MIB sign would have been done in time for HHN, and I guess this is fully walled off still, unless, again, they finish this in like the next 24 hours. I don't think that that's happening. So I think this is going to be up for the time being, which is bizarre, because when you look at it, we have two house portals behind us here. So we have The Last of Us over there. I believe it's the Darkest Deal in that corner by the restrooms. So we have two house portals over there. And then over here, I believe, is Dr. Oddfellows on the other side of like the MIB and kind of like that vacation area over here. So we have three house portals back here, which makes me think that this area could get quite congested, especially during more of these like busy nights, you know, like Friday, Saturday, Sundays. And again, I believe this will be Dr. Oddfellows' house right here, the entrance queue. And I do want to show you, it looks like they went ahead and put the Nightmare Fuel signs back up. They have 4 shows. Did they have this last year? I thought there was like 2 or 3. I guess 4 probably seems right. So 8 p.m. at 9:30, 11, and 12:30. So every hour and a half they're starting at 8 p.m. So if you guys are interested, they do have a show pretty late at 12:30. I thought they stopped at like 11 last year. I guess I could be totally wrong. And then the sign that I thought was actually right here is actually not a thing. So I must have been imagining something. But there is the big sign as well. So again, everything is being put back into place. But I want to show you something that is actually very bizarre. This food booth that was over here on like the bridge is just not here. And I think it's actually that one that's over by the Chucky food booth. So they completely just like shifted it, and now there's nothing here. Yeah, as you can see, it's just completely gone. So I think they actually moved it and transported it over by Chucky, because there was one over there. Unless, I thought that one was there the other day though still. So maybe they just full-blown removed one of the food booths, which was, again, right here? I don't know, maybe a staffing problem? I wouldn't think so. I don't know. But we'll go look. I thought that other food booth was still there for a while, and both of them were up. So it's kind of like that generic kind of gray one that we had last year pertaining to the monsters. I also want to take a minute as we are looking out over the lagoon to just say thank you to everybody that has been watching my videos, sharing my videos, liking and commenting, just engaging in the content that we release here. It has been so much fun. I hope that you guys have really enjoyed all of the updates, and I do know today is pretty stale just because I think we're finalized. I think everything that we've seen over the past week or two is pretty much in place again, so we're kind of just recapping all of the scare zones at this point. But either way, just to have you guys here and supporting the channel, it's been amazing. I'm glad some of you guys have been able to actually see my channel and find it here now in the midst of everybody doing this. There are so many incredible creators out there, and I am just one of these small creators out there in comparison. But again, we have been growing and doing so much work here. It has been amazing, and honestly, it's all because of you guys. So thank you again so much for hanging out with me and doing these videos with me. It's been so much fun. I really do, again, appreciate every single one of you guys. And with all of that said, if you are enjoying today's video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing to the channel. Like I said, a very bittersweet moment today, as this is our last video doing updates, and everything here moving forward for Halloween Horror Nights will be inside of the events, which is, it's fun, it's exciting, but it's also been so cool to see everything start to develop. But this is what it really all comes down to, is opening night and for the next 2 months here, to see what has been being built and why it is being built and put into place. That is really what is the most exciting at the end of the day. I also know a lot of you were upset that we are not getting a Five Nights at Freddy's drink. Again, that is why you don't always listen to every rumor that you hear out there, because people were rumoring that, and it is not here, at least as of now. Maybe it's a secret drink somewhere, but from what I've heard and what I've seen on all of the menus, I do not see a Five Nights at Freddy's drink at all. I know they just released a trailer, I think like yesterday or 2 days ago, another trailer. I also can't stress stress enough how important it is to know where all of these Coke Freestyle machines are, just because they are going to help save your night when you are getting hot and tired. Making sure to get your water filled up will be really essential, in all honesty. Also, while you're over here, make sure to check out that Golden Gate Sunset, Bubba. Hello, because the Golden Gate Sunset is amazing, by the way. So if this is open for the event, make sure to pick it up. It is so good. And I know it is not an HHN exclusive item, but it is still very delicious. Now, as we are in here, I can smell wood. I don't think I'm getting any sense of like fog, like leftover fog, but what I do smell is wood. And I think that's because the rain and the wood definitely give off that smell. You can see the wood up top is definitely wet and damp there. So it looks like it has definitely started to give off an aroma. Also, it looks like they added some blood to this character in here. All right, at least we got one update over here. So there has been blood added to that character. I'm still excited to see what ends up happening with that. Yeah, there's no way you're gonna be able to see that. It's very covered up today, but yeah, there's definitely blood on the hat and the hands. So, oh, you know, it'd be interesting if they were like hanging here and they dragged him in. Wouldn't that be interesting? So it's like, maybe there's a character inside that like pulls them in instead of like them trying to jump out. Ah, I always love speculating. Either way, as we walk through Shipyard 32, again, no big updates. Everything is pretty much exposed. And I'm assuming, again, whatever is underneath that tarp there is exposed for the night. And you can see it actually swapped. So before, it was like the other side. Now it's this kind of camo side. So they did actually swap what side was exposed, which means that they had to recover it up. So this definitely does get uncovered at some point. So that food booth right there that we are coming up to, that is the one that I thought was already here when they removed the one over on like the bridge over there. So I think they just full-blown removed it, because I think this was already here. My other thought was maybe they moved it over here, and now that is why we have this one up in this section. But again, I think this was already here, so I think they full-blown removed the food booth. We also have a double signage here. Oh, okay, so it's directions. You can see like the arrows. So it looks like they have arrows pointing to where the houses are going. That makes a lot more sense. It's kind of directing you. I thought it was gonna be like a big map. No, so it's pointing like, hey, this way to probably, again, Oddfellow and like The Last of Us and everything. And then if you're coming from that direction, it's probably gonna point you to all of the houses over here. So that's all that probably is at that point. I really think this year is going to be fantastic, by the way. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's been growing year to year. I think the scare actors that want to get involved are growing year to year. So I think just overall, we're gonna have crazy good performances, not only inside the houses, but also the scare zones. And my assumption is sometimes like the houses maybe don't have the best theme or something like that you might not like, but if the scare actors in there pull it off, it doesn't really matter because you're still having a very, very good house. So I really do think there's a chance that we have 10 fantastic houses this year. It looks like the Fedra banner up here has gotten twisted up in the winds, unfortunately, and I don't think it's actually meant to be like that. I just think that the winds were going crazy and they haven't had a chance to get up there at this point. Also, I do feel like some of these signs are a little different. Like this fuel distribution, I actually think that's a new sign here. I could be wrong, but I think that's actually new. Oh, I think this is actually new as well. Look for the light here. Also, I want to point out really quick, I am on episode 8. So 2 more episodes that we will watch before tomorrow's opening night. But I haven't seen a whole lot of the fireflies, so I'm really interested to see if they kind of pop up in episode 8 and 9, or if it's just a lot more involved in the game. Also, again, I am very aware that it is based off the game and not off of the show. I know I've mentioned that probably in every single video that I talk about The Last of Us. I'm just saying that's my only opportunity to actually research what is going on in the house and then at these food booths. And as of now, again, from what I am seeing, it is like very limited on the fireflies, at least again in the show. Maybe episode 8 and 9, they come out a lot more. I don't know, about to find out tonight though. We obviously know they're going to be pulling out the cars here to line them up in the streets here that are kind of tucked around the corner. So I know this zone will start to get filled up. I wonder how impactful it will feel. Just because I feel like Sweet Revenge, they had so many giant floats in here. I felt like it really took up the space. I wonder if those cars will do the same thing, or if it's going to feel a little empty when the time does come. Now before I go into the tribute store, I do want to look right here. I was hearing that they were actually selling pizza skulls at these stands. So let's take a look. All right, well, I'm not seeing the pizza skulls. I am seeing the giant pizza slices. Also, if you don't realize, take a look at this. Those are the pizza slices. They are massive, by the way. It's like a quarter of a pizza there, but I do not see the pizza skulls here, unless maybe that's what they're gonna be selling during the actual event. So I think you might be able to get those pizza skulls over here. All right, we are heading into the tribute store for just a second. I do wanna show you, like I said, like 2, maybe 3 things, but for sure at least 2 things that I didn't point out the other day that I think are actually really interesting. So first and foremost, this character here is the curator, and he's sitting on like these skulls. I think that's who that is meant to be. And he is at the start of each of these zones here. So So that character right there, he's the one that's kind of curating the story, if you will. He's telling you about the story. So again, I think that is something interesting that I did not point out yesterday. So if you guys are interested, following the curator's story, he will be telling the story through all, again, 4 of them that you see here. I know it is a little dark, but here is the curator as you go into a second story here, into the Schuster Bros section, which again is false idols. But you can see here he is, the character, and he's again telling you the story that you are getting involved in. So again, I definitely missed that yesterday. One of the other big things I missed was this here, which would be all of the raindrops that are on the ground. So you can hear the rain, but you actually don't realize there is raindrops happening right in front of you. Also, I missed the little interaction here, which I'll try and show you in just a second. Oh, perfect timing. And they come through here and they go ahead and wipe away the door. Again, a few characters kind of walk through here, interestingly enough, so I won't sit here for all of them, but just so you know, a lot of these kind of screen projections, they have things that are going on, and if you kind of sit and watch, you will see that. As we walk through here, this is what I was mentioning with the comics, and that is actually going to be something I wanted to point out, but I also do want to show you some of the treats. I don't think I put the treats in yesterday's video either. So this is the pricing on some of those. You have the macarons, cookie balls, cookies, cupcakes, s'mores, everything. You can see prices there, and it looks like they went pretty heavy on Stranger Things for the macarons. It looks like we have like Eddie the Freak, we have the Hellfire Club, we have like Dice, we have Eddie here on the jar too, and then we have the Hellfire Cupcake. So a lot of treats pertaining to Stranger Things up there. Then the next row is basically Chucky. You can see some of the Chucky desserts all look pretty good. Sugar cookies on the bottom row, but the most interesting one is definitely this bloody brain. I mean, look at that thing. That looks disgusting. They always have to have one treat, I feel like, every year that really is just disturbing, and I think it's the bloody brain cheesecake this year. Again, with some kind of just standard cookie balls down here, and then you have the logo for the merchandise down on the coffin brownie. All right, I know it is a little hard to see, but these comics here, you can actually buy the comics that they sell here. I think they're either $12 or $13. I don't know if this is the same comic that you can actually get when your face is on the wall, because you get that comic from the wall over there, that little image that you do. So I don't know if it's the same or if it's different. I asked an employee and they weren't totally certain. Also, as you're leaving the tribute store, I don't know if I pointed this out, you have the Music Fest 69 posters here as you kind of exit out into, again, Music Fest 69 or Vamp 69. While I was walking out of the tribute store, I almost felt like I could smell those smells of the haunted houses. I don't know, they just have that distinct smell. They all do. I don't know if it's wood or what it is. Either way, I definitely smelt it as I walked out. So the smells are in the air right now. Also, a little note on Rip Ride. I just recently heard that they reduced all of the playlists to one song. So when you're in like rock, there's one song, electric, one song, pop, etc. There's only one song available. Do we feel like Rip Ride is like on its way out at this point? Like, why would they reduce it only to one? Can you still do the secret menu and get those original songs? Like, I don't know, it just seems weird. As of now, yeah, one song available per each genre. Also, if you guys end up trying this hot dog while you guys are here, please let me know. Either tag me on Instagram with like your review or something, or put it in the comments. I want to know. Again, I think I'm gonna try it. I don't think I'm doing it opening night, but I just want to hear what people have to say about this. Well, I guess we actually have another piece of merchandise. We have a pillow here. Very, very soft, by the way. So if you guys like pillows, there you go. What is this, 35 or 30? 35 for this one. Again, very, 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 very soft. Oh, wait a minute, we actually have 2 more pieces over here. So we have a fanny pack here. Has mixtape for Stranger Things 1986. You have the Hawkins jersey. And then on the back side, let's see, you have Vecna, Halloween Horror Nights 2023. Oh my gosh, it's a giant cassette player. You see the top there? It's got like the play button and everything. All right, that's pretty sweet. And then we have a giant blanket that says Hellfire Club, I believe. Yeah, and you have some Stranger Things stuff on there. Wow, this is big. Let's see what the price on that is. It's gonna be $50 for the blanket. Looks like somebody kind of unfolded, so I guess you could see it's maybe white on the other side. Then you have like Hellfire Club, you can kind of see the logo there. Let's see if we can actually get an image on the tag. No, there's no image, so I can't show you exactly what it looks like. But again, this here looks pretty fun. You even get the headphones. Oh my gosh, that's awesome. $35 for this, by the way. So 2 more pieces that have actually shown up. As I head to the Dead Coconut Club for you guys, I want to reiterate a few things for the event, by the way. Number 1, don't touch the scare actors. Don't push them, don't shove them, don't do anything like that. They won't touch you, so don't touch them. I saw that a few times last year, and you know, obviously they have to kind of take measures at that point. A lot of times you kind of get kicked out from what I've seen. They don't really have much of a tolerance for that. So make sure you don't touch anybody, not in the houses, not in the scare zones. you need to control yourself a little bit. Again, I just want to prep you for that. As well, when it comes to the houses themselves, I don't believe you can bring in open drinks. So if you have anything that's open, like open alcohol or anything like that, I believe you're either gonna have to finish it or throw it away before you go inside of the house. There's no videotaping or recording, no photos, nothing inside of the houses as well. I know sometimes people question that, they aren't totally certain. Some of you guys are new this year. You cannot record, you cannot do anything inside of the houses with any recording devices. No photos, no videos, anything like that. So keep that in mind. I know a lot of you guys are very hyped and amped and you want to record all this stuff. Scare zones, anything outside of the houses, fair game. Anything inside of the houses is a no. Also, if you're an annual pass holder, make sure to use your annual pass discount on basically everything but alcohol for the event. If you buy food, merchandise, anything like that, make sure you use your annual pass holder discount. If you are doing express, understand that it's not a walk-on to the house. You're not walking right in, but a lot of times they suggest it's about half of the wait time. So if it is a 90-minute posted wait, then you can imagine it would be 45 minutes. In my experience, from what I've seen, it tends to be less than that. A lot of times from what I've heard, it's like 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes 20, 30, whatever. I don't think it's always half, but it can be half or even more sometimes. It is just quicker than standby. So keep that in mind. Don't expect to just like walk right into every house. Some houses might be like that, but not every single one of them. And that is pretty much it for some of those quick hitting tips for you. Again, I know there's a lot of things to cover. I just want to kind of remind you, for those of you that are coming either for the first time or coming back again, whatever it might be, I just wanted to kind of let you know that. Either way, let's head up the escalator and head to the Dead Coconut Club. I guess the most important tip would be to have fun though, right? I guess I forgot that one. Have a good time, have fun, enjoy your night. I don't want to see people get in trouble. I just feel like I saw that a lot last year, people touching the scare actors or they were trying to do something, and it's like, you know, the team members, they just have to abide by the rules. They didn't make them, they're just enforcing them. Always remember that. Now here you go for the Dead Coconut Club here in 3D. How interesting is this? So the posters up there kind of look a little 3D. It'd be cool if you had some 3D glasses. I wonder if you could see that. Looks like we have like the Invisible Man in here driving the truck. That is a cool prop. I really like how they did that. And you can see this is Monstergram Picture Studios, so I'm guessing it's either something to do with like old school broadcast or maybe a video network, but I'm gonna guess maybe it's more like broadcast, like audio. Definitely a lot of fun. Let's go see if we can see anything inside. Yeah, you kind of can. I know it's gonna be hard to see through the camera, but it looks like they have some merch and stuff in there. That'll be a lot of fun. Like I said, I think we're definitely gonna check this out this year. That is going to wrap it up for us here though. So this is the Dead Coconut Club, and there wasn't a whole lot of updates today. And I know that, I told you that in the first place. I don't think we're gonna be getting a whole lot of updates. And I didn't wanna spoil too much from what I was reading because I wanna show it to you. I don't want to just kind of express what I was hearing. And you know, I did see a few small things from the team member previews, which again, I don't think you're actually allowed to do. And you guys can correct me. I thought they were like not allowing that. I don't think you could take photos and videos. Maybe it was different this year, or maybe it was like the non-team members. So like, I think they get to bring their families. I don't really know. Either way, there wasn't a whole lot going on inside the park. We just kind of went through, double checked everything, saw if things were put back in place. It looks like everything's a go from the hurricane, by the way. You know, the medallion's back up, all the posters are back up, everything is back in order. So I think tomorrow night, for opening night, it will be a go. I don't think we're gonna have any issues. I do want to reiterate again, I am not recording inside of the houses because I do not have a media invite. There are plenty of channels out there that do have media invites, so I would recommend checking out some of those if you want to see what is going on inside the houses. I know a lot of you don't want to be spoiled with it, so totally understandable. Either way, again, we won't be, and again, you cannot record inside of the house. I don't want you to get in trouble. I don't want you to get kicked out. Either way, we need to get home, edit this video, get ready for tomorrow, get a good night's rest. We are going to be here nice and early, preparing, getting into Stay and Scream. I hope you guys are ready for that video. It's going to be a long one. I know it's going to be a long one. I just know there's so much we want to do that night. We're going to be probably reviewing all 10 houses, at least a little blip on them. We're going to go through all 5 scare zones. We're going to show you what's going on with Stay and Scream. We're also going to do Express. It's going to be a lot of stuff happening inside of one video. We'll definitely do more breakdowns in future videos, but as far as this one goes, it will kind of be a little hodgepodge of everything. Now, with all of that said, thank you for hanging out with me today. I'm sorry there wasn't more to show you. Again, it was much more of a recap here, but we will have the opening night video coming out for you so soon. When you are seeing this, less than 24 hours until opening night. Guys, I will see you in the fog. Take care.